Greetings everyone and welcome back to Sorcery, the Seventh Serpent, Sorcery 3. This is episode 10, I believe, and I actually was considering today to maybe rewind all the way back to this tower here and place it so it actually makes this piece of bridge working, but I don't really want to go all the way back and replay that big part of the game. I did, however, last time I left this beam looking at the city here, which make it not in ruins, but I realized since here is another this thing which like changes the lines of time or whatever, I thought to myself, I want to remake this. I want to make this one here in different spot, and let me tell you why. Let me just continue here and let's adjust the beam. The thing is, can I even do it as I wanted to do it? Yeah. So yeah, the thing is, I believe, I don't really know that, this is just like my wishful thinking, I guess. I think when I leave this part of bridge being complete, if you got them, let me. I don't want to cover too much of the spot. Come on, goddammit, do it! Fuck! Oh, okay, because there is like a house and I want to inspect it. A house like... You don't really can see my cursor, can you? Welp. Yeah. Something like that, I guess. Would that work? Yeah, let's assume this will working. You adjust the contraption's position and focus carefully, watching the lamp shift and change under its light as you make your adjustments. Finally satisfied, you set the lantern into one of the constellations of the turret and step back. Where the light touches you, you feel suddenly much better. This is where we left off, like originally. And I just wasted whole 3 minutes to explain to you. I didn't even really explain it, but yeah. Because I was afraid if I won't leave this part here complete, I won't be able to pass on the other side, which could mean I won't be able to finish the game. But I thought to myself, hey, maybe I could like just use spell on this one and like hover over it or fly through, because I think we supposed to get here and somehow get on the other side here, because there wasn't really a way yet to get to this section of the map. So yeah, let's just continue, shall we, and hope for the best, I guess. You make your way quick down to the wooden walkway and back outside the tower. Do I want to... I guess I need to use a spell to get on the other side of the lake again, don't I? Yeah, that is probably a thing. If I only would remember. Zen. Hover in air. Yep. That's the one I'm looking for. Consulting the constellation overhead, you bind the spell and the medallion begins to glow as you rise gently up in the air. But you are not floating high enough to clear the scrotched and charred bushes, so again, no extra visibility. The door to the tower stands open. Yeah, let's leave. The marsh stretches away southwards and the gap in the forest is visible across the pool to the northwest. Yeah, let's get to the place where we eat the magic mushrooms. I splash through the water, but after a while it seems to dry up, leaving only a dry rock. You make your way easily to the other side. In all directions the forest has been replaced by marsh, except for here, a small, bald plain of rock a little way to the southeast. At least the stone tower still rises true. It is dwarfed by the violet mountains behind. Your weight returns and you settle gradually back down to the ground. The morning winds finger at you, pack and sword. A towering structure looms out of the marshland ahead. It is a pillar of stone, eerily smooth, built on a raised dais of a dry mud from the marsh itself. Locking up, the pillars arcs into a bridge of an impossible size. From this perspective, the bridge seems to span from one cloud to the next. Each arch is distant as rainbow, and the pillars themselves fell like rain down to the earth. The stone is smooth. This is the work of giants, miracle workers, or more realistically sorcerers of terrifying power. Oh, we could climb the pillar. It's not really something I considered doing, to be honest. Should we climb the pillar though? I guess we could try. You briefly scour the pillar for 3 tile handholds, but the stone is featureless and smooth. There is no way up onto the bridge from here. You continue to march. Oh yeah, there is this house I mentioned. You wade on through the marsh, which changes to firmer earth beneath your feet. Trees grow up around you and suddenly you find yourself in the forest once more. The sun continues to climb to steep sky. The path passes by a heavily thicket and tangled branches. The dense bushes curl up around themselves in a tangle. Peering between the branches, you can make out something covered over. What could it be? Man, this is loads of letters I've never seen. I think. Well, we don't have beeswax. Or holy water. Find safe passage? I don't think this is like relevant now, is it? What else is there? Read minds. Well, it doesn't take any stamina, so I guess I could try it. You bind the stars into pattern around you, peeling out of the cloud skullcap as you do so, but you are alone, so there are no thoughts to hear. From deep inside the bush, a bird erupts. You jump back smartly and it flaps upwards into the sky. I swear, if I cut the branches and my sword will just like get all messed up. You begin to slice the branches, but the wood is thick and gnarled. You might be able to cut through, but it would risk hurting the blade. Thank you, game, for letting me know. Although I have 2 swords. I have my sword, which is better than Analan's sword, which I had like since the very beginning of the game. Do I want to risk losing my sword though? You draw your old sword and carve through the branches. The foliage falls away to reveal first a glassless window and then the top corner of a door. It seems the branches are growing in front of and out of an ancient hut. You push away a few remaining branches and attempt to haul your way up into the window, but it seems there is a thick foliage inside as well, and you cannot force your way in. You keep cutting until you have uncovered the door enough that you might be able to pull it open, but you blunt the old sword edge. You have on the door, howling it open. Ancient dust spews out into the forest air, and a million crawling things scuttle from holes in the ancient wood. The air from inside the hut is old and stale, but does not stink of death, decay, or animal. You look about for where to go. You push your way inside the ancient overgrown hut. There are patches of yellow moss similar to the one you smelled earlier growing on the back wall of the hut. You gather up a handful of moss. It is much like the last punch you did. Not there to taste it. Should we chew it? Oh man, I don't really remember what it did exactly. Should we chew it? Let's chew it? Feeling bolder, you put the clump of moss into your mouth and chew. Thick yellow juices run down your chin. Swallowing the thick clump is hard, but almost as soon as you do, you feel great. Warmth spreading up from your stomach. Whatever this moss is, it seems to be most beneficial. Fuck yes, I like to have beneficial things in my life. Who doesn't? I bet it would give me back some stamina, but I kind of have it full now, which is weird, because I usually don't have it full. In the thin sunlight, through the windows of the hut, you can make out writing on the far wall. This is the house Aiedail built, and in its doorway blood was split, but that blood has dried and gone, and poor Aiedail is still alone. Ah. Looking at the doorway, you see the dark shadow of blood stain, wiped carefully around the still like a ward against an evil spirit. Not that such magic works, of course. The only true magic comes from the stars. At least, that's what they told you. There are a few more things scratched into the wood. You look at the other scratcher marks. They are hard to comprehend precisely. One appears to depict a person in circular bubble floating harmlessly above. A raging tornado or a whirlpool. Another shows a fiery ball, perhaps the sun, perhaps not, being drenched by a fist squeezing what looks like a handful of berries? Looking into the dim corners of the hut, you uncover an old vial of water. As you lift it to the light, it gives off a very faint shine. In your mind you feel your goddess' gentle voice. The water in this vial is blessed to the god Gret. You place the vial of holy water into your pack. A lucky find. I'm gonna bet there is some useful spell. Heal disease. It's not really what I need, and I hope I won't get disease from the eating random moss from the forest. It's natural. Whatever is natural, it can't be bad for you. However, the last episode actually... I just reminded myself about the last episode, so no, that's not particularly true every time. Create light. Yeah. You grab the spell and the sun jewel in your pack begins to give off a brilliant blinding light. Well, that's not very useful, since it didn't give me any other option to go. I don't think we can do anything here, to be honest. Sense danger. Huh. I mean, we could just leave like right away, so that might not be like the very useful thing to do. Cast depression. Okay, let's move on. I think I checked all the possibilities here. You slip through the branches until you are outside the hood once more. There is nothing more to be done here. You leave the hut behind. Oh! You walk on between the trees. The light from your sun jewel pulses twice and fades. The trees shelter you from the early afternoon heat. You emerge from the trees into a clearing by a low hill. This is an exposed place. You would be unwise to stay long. What is this? Did we find Frodo Baggins' home? Why I can't go inside? It seems like a great idea. You begin to make your way around the clearing, but quickly stop in surprise. As you pass the southwest side of the hillock, you came across an incredulous wooden doorway set into the carnivate of the hill. You step over to the doorway to examine it more closely. Maybe it's a bug, maybe it should be like somewhere here. The door is made of a heavy wood carved with various runes and symbols in language you not know. You knock on the door. There is no reply. Now, sense danger would be very useful. Poop! Create explosions requires pebble. I don't even remember where I get pebble. But explosions, fuck yes! Reaching up to the stars, you create the magic over one of your pebbles. Throw the pebble at the door. You toss the pebble at the door. It explodes on impact, blowing it off its hinges and revealing a dark passageway beyond. The door opens through a short dark hallway, descends into the hill. Is it a tomb? You begin to see a glowing light ahead and hear a voice muttering low, angry curses. Your hand reaches down to pull your weapon, but as you touch it, a jolt passes up your arm, causing you to pull quickly away. Clearly something magical is preventing you from drawing your blade. You take a deep breath. You will have to survive on your wits, alone. A little sunshine falls through the doorway. There is still time to turn back. No. The adventure. There must something interesting happen in this episode. I'm not giving up on this. You keep moving forward, and the passage quickly opens out. You enter a smaller room, lit by a single candle on a wooden table. Seated at the table is a spindly creature whose attention is focused on a glass orb. Set on plinth, the explosions at the doorway seems not to have disturbed them. Oh, that's actually kind of scary. You watch as the creature stares into the orb, which swirls with colors and shapes. It mumbles something quietly. Fuck. Should I just take the orb? There is like very useful spell, I think, which requires the orb. We're just like looking at it and just like, yonk. Let's try announce myself maybe, and see how that goes. You open your mouth to announce yourself, but the silence is broken by a squeaky voice. Yes, alright. Don't stammer like half-orc, I'm busy, sit down. A thin finger gestures towards the chair in the corner. You sit down as instructed. After a few moments, the creature leans back from the orb and looks up at you. So, a visitor, a human. Too. Greetings. Greetings to you indeed. As the light from the glass orb fades a little, you see the speaker is a woman, some kind of elf, though she appears somewhat disfigured. What is your name? Fenestra. Now, human, as my time is more precious than yours, I will soon lose my patience with you. What in God's name are you doing in this miserable forest? I'm looking for 7 serpents. You declare. Do you know of them? She stiffens. I do. Indeed. She says her tone is very. What praise your interest? I intend to destroy them. You answer honestly. She nods. Many have tried, but if you wish to try as well, this is good. Grit knows the serpents are no friends of mine. Her voice shakes as she speaks. You have reason to hate them, I think. You observe. The water serpent killed my father. She declares coldly. This I shall never forgive. I'm sorry for your loss, she nods. Thank you. A single tear forms in the corner of her eye. My father did not know the weakness of the water serpent, so he could not survive its attack. But you have learned it. You lean forward with interest. I have. She nods from her cloak. She produces a flask of oil. Water and oil do not mix now. I keep a store, so I can spare this. I will avenge your father. Or join him. I'm sure. Her eyes flick back down to her orb. And is that all? She asks. What are the weaknesses of the other serpents? You ask. Here is what I know, she replies. The moon serpent cannot abide fire. And one more thing. Fenestra glances at the glass orb on her table and then back at you. She appears to be deciding whether or not to trust you. Finally she says, the serpent of air has a weak body when in its gaseous form. I hope this will prove of use to you. The orb on her table squeals with colors even more violently. Fenestra sits up sharply. You must go, she declares. I have work that must be attended to. What can you tell me of counterspell? I destroyed your door. What can you tell me of counterspells? You ask. Fenestra smiles almost casually. She tosses a handful of sand at your feet. She regards you for a moment. Is this a test? Oh man, I promised myself I gonna do like shorter episode and now I'm like half hour in already, god damn it. Where I could do with the like sand on the floor, I don't really know. I mean, sand turning into glass, isn't it? I could like pull it away with air, cast fear. Ha! Can I scare her and take her orb? You wind the constellation into alignment around you, pulling out the face mask. You are not fast enough. Fenestra is casting an enchantment on you. The sand at your boots begin to swirl in a narrow circle, growing faster and faster. You feel a terrible force sucking you downwards into the ground. Fenestra cackles suddenly with glee. You grab for a leg of a table, trying to hold yourself up, but the grip on your body is too strong. Your hand slips down to the table leg, drawing splinters from the wood. Please! You beg as your heels disappear into the ground and you feel the sticky mud closing around your shins. Have mercy! Fenestra allows. You are up to your tights now and sinking faster and faster. Fenestra peers at you contemptuously. Are you even going to try and protect yourself? This counter spells, I mean, I don't really see something I could use besides like a force field, I guess, but I think this has more depth to it than just like doing a force field. What? There is no like second letter for N? Darkness won't really help me. Ah, fuck it, let's just do force field and hope for the best. You cast the spell, forming a shimmering force field around your body. You should be protected from Albat, the most seriously injured now. The shell is quick filled with sand grains disconnected from the gathering whirlpool. The two spells are tearing at each other and after a moment, both fizzle out. She nods pleased. Very good, she declares. The spell of the whirlpool opens the enchantment of the force field. She points to the door. Now go! Should I attack her? I really want this goddamn orb, to be honest, but I guess we need to like... Yeah, this episode is just going too long. Let's do this. Let's stop here. You bid farewell to Fenestra and take your leave. Back through the smoking ruin of the door and into the clearing. So yeah, this counter spell has been recorded in our spellbook apparently, and we find new clues. So yeah, what an episode that was. It actually started quite boring and not that eventful, but yeah, we found this lady. So I guess this is as simple as using a force field, I guess. Sort of. Well, thank you very much for watching. I hope after cutting some parts, which was like me looking for spells and stuff, it won't be like 30 minutes, but maybe 20, I hope. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you did. Do you enjoying still this series? I hope so, because I quite do, to be honest. And I'm gonna see you in the next one. Have an amazing weekend, guys, and yeah, farewell!